What happens when wealth and power intersect in the murky world of outlaw bikers? This is the shocking story of Louie Malu Roy, the wealthiest Hell's Angel in history, whose life of dominance in the underworld was gruesomely cut short. Known as Louie Roy, he held a near monopoly on the drug trade in Trois-Rivières, making him one of Quebec's most influential drug dealers. But behind his affluence lay a ruthless criminal empire, a world where power came at a deadly price. Born and raised in the gritty town of Trois-Rivières, Roy's name struck fear in many hearts. He was synonymous with violent outlaw biker culture, power, and criminality. His journey into this dark world began when he joined the Sainte-Thérèse-based Missiles, an illegal biker club. Few could have predicted that this quiet young man would rise to lead Satan's Guard, a group notorious for eliminating rivals to dominate parts of Quebec. In 1991, when Satan's Guard united with the infamous Hell's Angels, Roy ascended to lead the Trois-Rivières chapter. He forged a close relationship with the legendary Maurice Boucher, creating an unbreakable alliance with Montreal's Risotto crime family. After Boucher, Roy was arguably the second most powerful Hell's Angel in Quebec. Roy was renowned for his monopoly over the drug trade in Trois-Rivières, establishing himself as one of the most powerful drug dealers in the province. His empire extended beyond his hometown, and his riches were unrivaled within the Hell's Angels hierarchy, with cocaine flowing through his hands like water. But power in the criminal world often attracts deadly consequences. Roy's rise in the Hell's Angels brought him many enemies. His sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through the underworld, and when his body was discovered, gruesomely shredded in a meat grinder, the ruthless nature of his life was starkly underscored. This tale of Louie Roy is not just a story of wealth and power. It's a grim reminder that the dark underbelly of society often comes with a horrific end. Join us as we delve deeper into the life of the richest Hell's Angel in history, exploring how his rise to power led to a tragic and brutal demise. Watch the full story unfold and uncover the chilling details behind his shocking death. In a twisted turn of events, Louie Malu Roy enlisted the services of Serge Canel, a hitman, to execute his malevolent plans. Fresh out of prison, Canel met Roy through his attorney. Their pact was chillingly simple. Canel would join the Hell's Angels as a hired killer, earning $500 per week and a commission of at least $10,000 per murder, with heavily guarded targets warranting up to $50,000. Canel's eerie memoirs shed light on Roy's immense power and influence. Roy carried a booklet, his own version of a death note filled with names, residences, license plate numbers, and descriptions of intended targets. This document was a testament to the terrifying reach of the Trois-Rivières Hell's Angels. Roy's sinister list claimed its first life with the death of Jacques Ferland, a chemist who produced PCP for the rival rock machine. On a frigid January night in 1995, Ferland met his end, marking the beginning of Roy's ruthless campaign of terror. The chilling narrative of Louie Roy and Serge Canel reveals the dark depths of Quebec's criminal underworld, where power and death dance a macabre waltz. The dark underbelly of Quebec's criminal world took a sinister turn when Louie Malu Roy enlisted Serge Canel's services to execute his deadly plans. Roy's kingdom of chaos extended wide, capturing countless lives in its net. Next to Parrish, there was Richard Delort, a member of the Pelleter family who dared to remain independent, refusing allegiance to either the rock machine or the Hell's Angels. Then there was Claude Picard, a heroin dealer from Montreal who became another casualty. Serge Canel, while revealing the shocking details in court, confessed that these killings were carried out under Roy's orders. But the carnage didn't end there. Roy placed a hefty $50,000 bounty for the capture of rock machine leader Gilles Lambert. This plan, however, was thwarted when Canel was arrested in April 1995, narrowly avoiding another bloodbath. Roy's empire began to crumble as the noose tightened around his neck. Canel flipped and Roy faced 3 counts of first-degree murder, alongside Sylvain the Riault, the vice president of the Trois-Rivières chapter. With Roy's downfall, Richard B. Land took over as the chapter president. However, Roy's legacy didn't end there. He joined notorious figures like Maurice Boucher and other founding members of the elite nomad chapter of the Hells Angels, solidifying his reputation as one of the most formidable outlaws. On April 4, 1997, in a shocking twist, Robert Hardy of the Rock Machine found himself in a car with Roy and the Riot. They were en route to court, but upon arrival, Roy and the Riot seized the moment to brutally assault Hardy. His battered body was found just barely clinging to life and was rushed to the hospital. Despite Cannell's damning testimony, Roy and the Riot were acquitted on all counts, leaving a trail of fear and intimidation. After his acquittal, Roy returned to Trois-Rivières, but his reign was far from peaceful. 6 members of puppet clubs linked to the Trois-Rivières chapter vanished without a trace, including members of the LA Audrey Rody crew, the Black Nomads of Maisonneuve, and the Jokers of Saint-Jean. Despite pleas from their families, the Hells Angels treated their homes like loot, seizing belongings. Roy's life, however, was under constant threat. On an ill-fated day, in August 1997, an assassin named Gerald Gallant ambushed Roy outside his parents' resort, the Resort Royal. A bullet struck Roy in the chest, nearly costing him his life. Gallant, having been promised $20,000 by Rock Machine member Marcel Lamoureux for the hit, fled the scene. Demonstrating his relentless defiance, Roy refused to cooperate with the authorities, deriding them as pigs and abstaining from filing a complaint. The tangled web of Quebec's criminal scene was further exposed by informant Danny Kane, revealing a pact between Vito Rizzuto and Maurice Boucher to fix cocaine prices at $50,000 per kilogram. Defying this price was a death wish. Key figures like Boucher, Dennis Hall, Michael Rose, Norman Robitaille, and André Chouinard were part of an underground syndicate named La Table that collaborated with the Mafia to control drug prices. Louie Roy's tale is a stark reminder of the perilous life in Quebec's criminal underworld, where power and violence walk hand in hand, and loyalty is a currency too rare to come by. The gripping tale of Louie Malu Roy, a man who once wielded immense power within the Hells Angels, takes a chilling and gruesome turn as his audacious defiance led to his horrific downfall. In June 2000, Roy, who had been openly flouting the Hells Angels' cocaine price regulations set by the enigmatic Maurice Boucher, vanished under mysterious circumstances. Roy's sense of immunity stemmed from his status as a founding member of the elite nomad chapter. However, his refusal to comply with Boucher's strict pricing enraged the Hells Angels boss. Overconfident, Roy headed to a gathering at Boucher's father's house to celebrate the nomad's 5th anniversary, unaware that this event would mark the beginning of his gruesome end. According to a later deposition by Elias Lasnak of the West End Gang, Roy made a deadly detour to a meat processing facility owned by Gerald Maddox. Initially dismissed as rumors, the terrifying details of Roy's death were beyond comprehension. He was reportedly chained, gagged, and fed into a meat grinder while still alive. This horrifying revelation was detailed by Andrew Scopper, a member of the Rizzuto family, in his posthumously released book. Scopper, who was tragically killed in 2019, spoke candidly about his criminal activities and disclosed the sinister plot behind Roy's murder in interviews conducted between 2014 and 2019. Scopper revealed that Boucher had struck a covert deal with the Rizzuto family. In exchange for their support in the war against the Rock Machine and the elimination of Paolo Gervasi, a Rock Machine ally, Boucher agreed to have Roy killed. Roy's ability to undercut the benchmark cocaine price of $50,000 per kilogram had placed immense pressure on the Rizzuto family to act. The plan was clear: if the Rizzuto family didn't deal with Gervasi, Roy's life was forfeit. Unaware of this deadly pact, Roy attended Boucher's party with friends. When he arrived at the meat plant, what he thought would be a friendly meeting turned into his horrific demise. He was mercilessly fed into the meat grinder, conscious until the end, in a scene ripped straight from nightmares. Following Roy's disappearance, His belongings were swiftly divided among his fellow nomads, effectively erasing his existence. By June 2000, his name had vanished from the Hells Angels membership rolls, creating a sinister void. Law enforcement quickly grew suspicious of the circumstances surrounding Roy's abrupt vanishing. Luke Bordelot of the Rockers, a Hells Angels puppet gang, was promptly promoted to prospect status within the Hells Angels, a move that further raised eyebrows. Meanwhile, Roy's girlfriend, Rosalba Guerrera, never filed a missing persons report, fully aware of the perilous world they inhabited. On December 12, 2000, the Nomad Bank in Montreal officially severed ties with Roy, distributing his wealth among the remaining nomads, serving as a stark reminder of his permanent absence, a once feared figure in Quebec's criminal landscape. Louie Malu Roy vanished, leaving behind a void filled with terror and unanswered questions. His blue Mercedes-Benz, covered in unpaid parking tickets, stood as a grim reminder of a life swallowed by the shadows. Roy's grim fate underscores the perilous dance of power and betrayal in the criminal underworld. His brutal end at the hands of those he considered allies serves as a chilling testament to the ruthless nature of this dark world. As we piece together the fragments of his life and death, we are left pondering the depths of treachery and the price of defiance in a realm where loyalty is a fleeting illusion. What do you think happened to Louie Malu Roy? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more gripping crime stories. See you in the next one.